Hello. What's going on in the world? How's it going? Hello, hello, hello. Mic check. So yeah, I wanted to do some research on this. I like to do research early in the morning. How's it going? All right. If you're on YouTube or if you're on Facebook, I'm doing this on Twitch and you can see my screen, but I can't really figure that out right now. Just want to take a look at Chinese folklore, Japanese, Eastern. More Eastern in general, you know. No one's ever done it before, so why not try something new? I was thinking about getting a tattoo the other day, and I was looking at these Chinese things, and I was interested in a few things. So I wanted to go over that, kind of dig deeper into it. No one's ever really done it before. Some of the things that I'm interested in. Look here. How's it going? What's going on in the world? I've had a freaking cold for the last week. Maybe do a video on this. What do these things have to do with, or mixed with Chinese and Asian? I mean, Japanese seems a lot cooler, but you gotta realize, like, the way I see it is that China influenced Japan so much, you might as well check out what they did first. So I found there's just why is my shit in Chinese, bro? It drives me insane. It's called Hanya. Let's see what it is. I'm gonna start with something I don't know. This is what I want to look at. This is called the Yuago. Is a Chinese term that generally means monster. The term is used in Chinese mythology and folklore. Save that. Not a lot of this information out there. It's one of the things people got to realize is they have to be original, you know? It's important to be original. I could be the only person doing this. You never know, you know? Literally, what the F, bro? Sorry. Facebook Live is like so behind. They're gonna get like no one even uses this shit no more, bro. For real. Great. What are you guys up to tonight? I can never spell controversy. Who's ready to learn something about something? Hello, how are you doing tonight? Let's see, there's a few people on here. Anyways, Yao Gao is a Chinese term that generally means monster. The term is used in Chinese mythology and folklore. So I'm gonna check that out a little bit. It's more like folklore in the Chinese, definition. Let's see what we got here. Chinese demons. Are Yoki Chinese? In Japanese, Yogawi, known as Yoki, is a native Japanese equivalent, sometimes written in the same honor as Yoki. So Yokai. There's a lot more information and supernatural things with Japanese culture. I've noticed. Kind of hard to find that about Chinese culture. But if I have to, I can just check out Japanese things. There's more available. Yokai. This is Japanese. I'll probably just make this an Eastern video, Shit, it's too hard to find simply Chinese things on the internet. Maybe like add like more of my perspective to it as well, not just make it one thing. You okay? This is looking pretty cool. Okay. Ugh. Okay. What is the most powerful? We're looking for something that has power to it. We're looking for something that has some type of power that we can use. Hey, thank you. I don't give a fuck. Thanks for the follow. Tell me something controversial. Something edgy. I'm an edge lord. I just edge all day. Okay, this is legit in Chinese, so maybe it's worth reading. Looking for secret information here, I don't want to find something anyone else has already done, you know what I mean? Yes, translate. Come on now. All right, Ghost, Japan. Seriously? In modern Japan, the term usually refers to a monster that is as strong and fierce as a wild man, and a very different kind of ghost from Chinese. So Japanese and Chinese ghosts are different. Very interesting. Ghost. Chinese ghost is a sense of a tendency to ghost, while Japan. Hey, yeah, man. Don't get put. Yeah, sure. Let's watch it. Always down. Ooh, now we're talking controversy. Since we're talking about Asia.
On the Wuhan COVID lab leak investigation, the official.
Wait, hold on. I love Fox News. I mean, I don't like it, but I love watching it. It's so funny.
Development on the Wuhan COVID leak investigation. The official who led the probe, President Biden, then shut down, says his team found almost nothing to suggest the virus occurred naturally.
We were finding that despite the claims of our scientific community, including the National Institutes of Health and Dr. Fauci's NIAID organization, that there was almost no evidence that supported a natural zoonotic, evolution or source of COVID-19. The data disproportionately stacked up as we investigated that it was coming out of a lab or some supernatural source.
And House lawmakers are preparing to introduce two new bills.
Natural source. Out of a lab or some supernatural source.
Supernatural source. The virus came from a supernatural source now? What does that mean? It came from like a demon or something? Maybe. What if the virus was caused by a demon? Think about that. A Chinese demon.
House lawmakers are preparing to introduce two new bills aimed at China today. One is
the COVID spirit. COVID actually has the spirit to it, There's actually a video. You can summon the COVID virus because it's a living entity. It lives, it evolves. It's just like an entity. It's just like a person. It evolves. Like it wants to live. It's a whole entity that exists inside of people, but it's also one together. So whenever it stops, it starts evolving. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it has a mind. Whether it's supernatural, I mean, how are you just going to say that on live screen? I thought the same when he said supernatural. Like, come on, man. You're trying to be a respectable news agency here. Like, come on. if it is supernatural, then that's I understand what you're saying, but you need to make that a separate issue in itself, not try to make it like a scientific reason for that. Um, so far, I mean, when I watch this video, I mean, like, man, I think like Vox is probably shit on too much, and people just like don't even care about it. But you could actually look at it and see some things, alternative views. I don't think it's just a joke. Um, but yeah, I mean, like, think about it. Like, there is a lot of evidence. There's a video I watched about this guy talking about how this virus was not necessarily started in in a wet market, but there's a lab that's close to the there's a lab that's close to the market that studied this that studied this coronavirus, and apparently outbreaks were known to happen with these labs. Um, I mean, yeah, you never know. I mean, this new era we're living in, it could be biological warfare.
Establishing a commission
I have to watch this video next from this guy who talks about this stuff, because there's a lot of good videos about this from people that actually lived in China.
Investigating the
I'm okay with
origins of the pandemic. The other, allowing Americans who lost loved ones to sue Beijing. Republicans are pressuring President Biden to hold China accountable.
The evidence, I think, strongly suggests that this virus escaped from one of the two institutes of virology in Wuhan, China.
What matters most to me is that the American people get answers. Was the Chinese government responsible for unleashing the worst pandemic in a century on the world?
We need to hold China accountable instead of rewarding them. And they need to be held accountable financially for what they have done to the world.
Dan Bongino, to you first. Senator Tom Cotton, who we just showed, was talking about that virology lab in Wuhan in January of last year.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to hear another peep from a liberal or a talking head media buffoon ever again about a conspiracy theory, okay? They never produce evidence about any of this stuff. You had the PP hoax, remember that with the collusion thing? There was no evidence of that either, but that became an international scandal. There was no evidence that this thing ever came from a bat or a pangolin or whatever. We still haven't produced the animal.
Well, there is some evidence that says that. That's a little misleading. I mean, there have been scientific studies that show that it came from a bat. It's a little bit misleading. If you're gonna make, I don't know, this could be misinformation too. Could be propaganda. Check out both sides of the argument, though. Yeah, okay, I'll check that out. Like I said, I want to check out both sides of the argument. I never form opinions like automatically. I always look at both sides of the argument. Not like liberals. They just want to just shut down the argument no matter what. Just, oh, this is what happens. And anybody else says anything else is a dumbass. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you have to understand, like, the plan that's going on here. China has a plan. It's called the 2049 plan. Yeah. It's called the 2049 plan, where China pretty much plans on taking over the world. So Chinese culture and Chinese people are always going to want to rise to the top. They're always want to do best. Everybody here in China just wants to grow and learn. I mean, they just want to get as much as possible. They want to be the best at everything that they do. It's crazy. Like, people don't even understand. the media in the West is like essentially dog shit. I mean, think about it. Everything has a reasoning to it. Everything is propaganda on a certain level. So, intelligence. Let's see. I want to make sure. Mike's coming. Too. Oh, nice. Hey, how's it going, guys? This is just my community here. It's not just about me. You know, anybody who wants to post any videos that they have, any streaming or any type of plugs they want to do, you feel welcome to do that. I'm just now starting this channel. I mean, it's going to be more official eventually for people on YouTube. I've got a Twitch channel where you can actually see my screen. It makes it a little bit better. So yeah, I'll have to drop the link on that. But intelligent on 6 staff. If you want me to research or look into anything, I can do that as well. Just drop a comment and watch a video about it, and I'll want to dig deeper, man. I just want to learn about things on here. I'm trying to learn about the world and also make a stream about it so I don't forget it. And so we all learn. Intelligent on the 6th of Wuhan was declared a COVID-19 origin. Continue with the, yeah, no thank you. Did COVID come from a Wuhan lab? Ordered review of revival theories about leaked animal posts. Has new evidence emerged? Despite Biden's announcement of various stories, the U.S. media limited the answer is surprising little changes in terms of good quality evidence. See, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make any type of like conspiracy theory seem like it's right wing and batshit crazy. You know what I'm saying? Then you're a Trump fan. They're linking any type of alternative media with the right wing. And that's essentially all that Trump was and is a false way to dispel any type of theory that goes against the mainstream media, that goes against the mainstream narrative. So now they can link anything. Like, you notice how things were like, people were starting to wake up. Like before Trump, people were waking up and they were noticing that that everything is rigged in America and the political system is nothing but just rigged and doesn't really matter. And all these things that people know are starting to wake up to. And then all of a sudden, they say Trump came in here. Oh, well, he's not even a politician. He's not even in politics. And he is the guy who's not supposed to win. But then he won. So now everybody is just constantly thinking that the media says, if you have any type of alternative opinion, then you're a dumb Fox person. You're a dumb Fox viewer. You're a dumb conservative. And that's all that Fox is. Fox and CNN is a battle of polarity. Pretty much, in media, what they do is they try to polarize you, and that's how they keep people in control. So it's like you have an issue. You ever notice when you watch the news, it's never in the middle of the issue. It's either one way or the other. It's either one all the way left or all the way right. Speaking as a metaphor, like they will tell you that it's either this way or it's the other way. Like that's to polarize people. So nothing ever actually happens. That's why nothing happens in the States, because if you make an argument that is somewhat right-leaning to what people perceive as what is right-leaning, then your left-wing friends are just not going to care about you. They're going to call you dumb. They're not even going to listen to you for the most part. Now, there are some people that don't do this. There are some people you can find like maybe like 1, 2, 3 out of 100. And a lot of people online that don't think like this. But your average, person living in the world doesn't really, think about these things like we do. Hold on a second. Wait. Various malicious. Man-made COVID as a crackpot idea. Was this political? Facebook? Wait, actually, you know what? Let me just. I'm not gonna sit here and read every single thing you'll send me.
Facebook will no longer take down posts claiming that COVID-19 was man-made or manufactured, a company spokesperson told Politico on Wednesday, a move that acknowledges the renewed debate about the virus origins. A narrative in flux, Facebook's policy tweak arrives as support surges in Washington for a fuller investigation into the origins of COVID-19 after the Wall Street Journal reported that 3 scientists at the Wuhan Institute of Virology were hospitalized in late 2019 with symptoms consistent with the virus. The findings have reinvigorated the debate about the so-called Wuhan lab leak theory, once dismissed as a fringe conspiracy theory.
Well, that's good. Facebook shouldn't take down posts at all. Just let discourse happen in the proper way, you know. Let people figure out what is to be talked about, you know, instead of trying to control everything like some type of like person with a huge ego, you know. Like reason Facebook tries to control everything is because they have like basically they have such a big ego. You know, the main guy, what's his name? Yeah, but he has such a big ego, you know. So he thinks that because everybody, almost everybody has a Facebook and it's something that they need so bad, he can just do whatever he wants. Zuckerberg. So basically, he's able to take advantage of people and say, look, I'm not going to do this because I have the power here. I control this whole world and I control the way the knowledge is, you know, presented in the world. So now he can limit the knowledge that's being spoken, that's said. But what he doesn't understand is that he is winning in the balance of power in this situation. So he can just say, oh, I have so much power and I have way more than people do. No one can ever stop me. So I have unlimited power. You know what I'm saying? Look at it like that. Like think about it think of life like that. And then just notice how you'll be able to observe the language of power being spoken in the day-to-day language, like, you know, with anything in life. It all starts. Like it doesn't matter doesn't matter who has the perceived power. Like, for example, if you read the 40 Laws of Power, you can actually be, if you have the boss, everybody's thinking the boss is the one with the most power. But however, have you ever worked for a company? Don't you know that the person who's the right-hand man of the boss has more power sometimes than the CEO? Or assistant manager will have more power than the manager? See, the problem is the workers don't have enough power. They don't have, so they're not able to like have power over their CEO, so they can't control everything. So you have people like Mark Zuckerberg and like leaders of these companies. They have all the power. They can treat their employees however they want. You know, you got to be like go to college for 4 to 8 years to work at Facebook, something crazy. Like when you know that people who don't go to college could probably work, you know, coding and in Facebook, but just because you have a degree, you can get a job there, you know. So people need to understand that the CEO is on top of the hierarchy and automatically has to maintain a sense of power. But us and you as a worker can balance that power by learning, by, you know, how to be important and valuable. However, it's very hard in the world we live in because there's the average worker does not have as much power and pull. So this is kind of what happens in Facebook.
President Joe Biden said Wednesday that he has ordered the intelligence community to redouble its efforts to find out the virus origin and report back in 90 days. Biden also revealed that the intelligence community is split between two theories about COVID-19's origin and said the review will examine whether it emerged from human contact with an infected animal or from a laboratory accident. Bipartisan support is also building on Capitol Hill for a congressional inquiry. But the virus may have accidental. Those are features that someone trying to engineer a bioweapon likely would have avoided. Shifting definitions on social Facebook announced in February it had expanded the list of misleading health claims that it would remove from its platforms to include those asserting that COVID-19 or manufactured. The tech giant has updated its policies against false and misleading coronavirus information, including its running list of debunked claims, over the course of the pandemic in consultation with global health officials.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. No doubt. I see what's going on here. Honestly, I don't really care either way, honestly. I'm just kidding. I care, but like, it is what it is, you know. We all know what happened. We don't need to say it, but we all know. We all know what's going on here with this COVID bullshit. It's a way to bring in like the New World Order and like control people, essentially. They're all in on it. They all have everything planned out. And they can see it. 3D vision, they can see this. You know, it's all a big plan to enslave humanity, basically. I mean, come on, how hard is that to see? It's not about if you're left leaning or right leaning. So what else is there to talk about? There's nothing you can do about it. Everybody knows what's happening already, you know? Goddamn, bro. Like, no viewers are they? COVID meme theory, bat pun intended. Huh? Given say it came from bats. Oh, some say, yeah. I watch CNN and Fox in general. Yeah, they are uninformed, but take hard sense on things that are complex sometimes. Yeah, for sure. It's all the way to enslave humanity. I'm gonna go back looking at these Chinese spirits. Why you say you don't care? Man, because like I said, everybody already knows what's going on. There's no reason to keep on talking about it and talking about it. In my opinion, like I'm more interested in finding out Chinese demons right now. Like something that I want to find something that actually can make my life better. You know what I mean? I'm tired of like focusing on things that are just kind of depressing and stuff. Like I like to learn about things that are a little bit older. Like, do you know the significance of the fox in like Japanese culture? I've been trying to learn more about these things. Like foxes are supposed to represent knowledge, and in Japan you can't kill foxes, and they're like have a sacred meaning and stuff. I want to like learn new things that I've never learned about. I'm on like this is like literally Chinese stuff right here in Chinese. So I can actually see different perspectives on things. But yeah, I do care. You know, I'm just joking. But you know what I'm saying? Like I can just copy other people. I want to find something else to talk about. Like the problem in the world is people are just constantly it's like a walking and talk about. People are in this room full of mirrors and they're just repeating everything that they already know. But what if there was just a way to transcend all that, Like find something that's never, ever, ever been done and just go in on it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We can keep talking about it though while I'll research this as well. Send me another link. I'll watch another video about it. I like to have two things going on. What is a conspiracy theory? Let me ask you this. I'd be super interested in hearing this. Everyone is just saying the same thing over and over is my problem. So what is a conspiracy theory that literally no one knows about, only you, that you create in your head? You know what I'm saying? Send me something like that doesn't even have any research on it. Can you think of anything like that? Echo chamber is the right word, right? But, dang. I'm getting a little bit lost in the sauce here for a second. This is cool. What's going on? We got a few people on YouTube. What's going on? Where are you coming in from? Where's everybody coming in from tonight? Where are you at? Where's everybody at tonight? I love to talk about like different countries and travel and stuff. Echo chambers. Where are you from? Where's everybody from? I'm an Asian myself. Ghost, Japan. The red go. This is cool. See, this is why I'm looking through these like Chinese websites, because no one will ever know. You know what I'm saying? Besides Chinese people. Look at that. The red ghost. Give me a second. I'll watch that video later. I'm going to go back to that. The red ghost of the Anayama Hell. That sounds pretty interesting. This is crazy, bro. Can't even find anything like this on here. So yeah, like look, bro, like look. Here I am finding shit that you cannot even find on the English thing, like looking up different languages. You know what I mean? Let me see what this is. This is Japanese stuff. Where is it? Where is that? Where'd it go? All right, here. Yeah, Joko House of Beppu, Japan. You're an Earth? I hear that, man. Heard Earth is a nice place. No, I'm just kidding. Don't tell me where you're at then. not really what I'm looking for. But yeah, I have to like, I think I'll just type this shit in and then just look at it later because I can't do too many things at once. But I must save that. Let me just actually get a starting point, you know, and then I'll go back to it. Like literally something that can't just be found on the internet, you know. Like it's all about adding value. And you ever notice that? Like you can add that so much goddamn value that you can do something that nobody else can do. You know what I'm saying? Okay, the red goes to the Anye Hell in the Beppu, this is Japanese, Beppu on-site district, Oedo Prefecture, Kyushu, Japan. The sun is in there crying me. Beppu on-site district. Hold on a second. But yeah, I mean, I've been obsessed with hell for a while now. Really interesting place, though. Life is hell in a way. The red ghost of Aniyama Hell and wait. Actually, I'll just go ahead and save this whole thing. This is cool because like not anybody can find this. Save that. I'm doing like a bunch of research, so you don't have to. Oedo Prefecture, Kashui, Japan. The word ghost in modern Japan usually refers to a monster that is powerful and ferocious, like wild men and orcs, which is very different from the Chinese ghost, really. Ghost in Chinese means the tendency to ghost in this sense, while Japan ghosts are often referred as phantoms or yuri. That's what they're called in there, yuri. Type this in here and then break the knowledge down a little bit at a time. The image of Japanese ghosts often reminds people of the golden horn, silver horn, or red devil appearing in China's Journey to the West. What is Journey to the West? Sounds very interesting. Did you ever find the original? Is this the original conspiracy theory that you found? Something that's not been done before? Like, just curious.
All right, here we are at another.
The boring channel. Yes, random. Okay, yeah, I'll watch that. But give me a second, actually. I'm gonna save it because I like to take a little break between my research. Actually, I'm gonna delete out of it for now, and then I'm gonna go back to it. The image of Japanese ghosts often reminds people of the golden horn, silver horn, or bull devil appearing in China's Journey to the West. Sounds good. Gold. You already did that. It is characterized by disheveled hair and sharp horns, big mouth, and terrifying fangs, copper bell eyes, skin often red or blue, naked upper body tongue. However, Japan's ghosts are not limited to the above mentioned types, and all kinds of monsters can be collectively referred to as ghosts. Really. The Japanese perception of ghosts, which is transformation from Onu. No problem. Yeah, no doubt. I'll check it out. That's dope. So it can be inferred, I love conspiracy theories, that there is not much difference between the earliest Japanese ghosts and Chinese, which is informed. They all refer to mysterious forms that cannot be seen with the human eye. The image of ghost in modern Japan was formed during the Hunan period, since the position between Sho and Yin is called Yumen. What? The Japanese thought of it occurring and added to the characters of the cow and the tiger, and thus had a concrete prototype. Later, under influence of Buddhism, the image of Rakasha was also introduced. So yeah, in Japanese and Asian mythology, I think Shinto is like more Japanese. They base like a lot of their spirituality on the animals, like kind of like resembles Native American things, spirituality. They Japan probably more so than actual China. This is really dope right here. I really love this guy. You know, but so hard to find this information. Look at me. I'm searching on freaking Chinese Wikipedia over here, like digging deep, 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 deep. Got too many windows open. Who else is like that? Who opens like a million windows when they're trying to research something? Kitsune. Check this out. Okay, this is actually translating pretty well now. Kitsune. In Japanese folklore, kitsune is literally the word for Japanese fox, or intelligent foxes that possess paranormal abilities that increase as they get older and wiser. According to yokai folklore, all foxes have the ability to shapeshift into human form. Really? But some folklore speaks of kitsune employs the ability to trick others, as foxes in folklore often do. Other stories portray them as faithful guardians, friends, and lovers. Everything has a meaning in this world. You know what I'm saying? Everything has a meaning, and like art, and like history, and like images and metaphors. Everything you see in the art picture is supposed to have a meaning to it. So when you see, like, look at this picture, you just look at it, you're just like, oh, okay, there's a fox. But really, the fox is, deeply tied to these Japanese mythology and, belief. Like it says, folklore is a faithful guardian possessed the paranoid ability to increase as they get older and wiser, according to Yoki folklore. A fox has the ability to shapeshift into human form. That's crazy, right? Somebody should make an anime about this. It would be so dope. Controversially, foxes were often seen as witch animals, really, during the superstitious Edo period, and were thought as goblins and could not be trusted. Researching a little bit about foxes, Japanese fox legends may have had think about it, foxes are a dope animal. Like, for real. Like, I don't think they attack people. They're just really kind of spiritual. Look at it. They're so cool. Japanese fox legend may have other regions of fox spirit, and Chinese mythology also found stories through East Asia. Folklore of China tell of fox spirits called Holunjin that may have had 9 tails, which were adopted into the Japanese culture. See, you know what I'm saying? China, it started in China. Yeah, it's like that here, man. Like fucking, you think you got it figured out, and then it's all fucking different. It all changes about Asian culture. That's how it works, man. Hey, more interested in the Chinese things because it hasn't really been talked about as much. I mean, there's all kind of information on Japanese things. Oldest known word and text. I'm only interested in the things that I'm like really, really fucking interested in. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care about something that I'm not interested in. So yeah. Hulu Jing. Chinese mythological creatures that are capable of shape-shifting. Interesting. Who may either be benevolent or malevolent spirits among the nine-tailed foxes, the most famous. Nine-tailed foxes appear in Chinese folklore. Literature and mythology, in which, depending on the tale, that can be good or bad omen. During the Han Dynasty, the development of ideas about interspecies transformation had taken place in Chinese culture. Human form is presented such as Lu Jing as Wang Chang. The nine-tailed fox occurred in Shenzhen. Some battles of Warring State period of Western Henan or State. See what we got here. Lin Qing. Text boring. Wang Chang, meteorologist, astronomer, philosopher, rational secular. Don't care. Boring. Found the story pretty boring, honestly. Don't really give a shit. I only care about dark things like ghosts and spirits and shit like that. It's really frustrating doing this research, you know? It's all hard to understand. And trying to find the shit that I'm actually fucking interested in, you know, shit takes years, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, intelligent foxes. Yeah, I just looked this one up. I'm only interested in the references of hell and demons. In my opinion, like that's all I care about. So let's see. Let's actually switch it up. Here we go. Yeah, let's like create our own religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? I find this interesting. Do you? I'm gonna have to get to that video in a second. Check that out later. Do you? Actually, let's go ahead and just have this read out loud.
DU, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, earth prison, is the realm of the dead or hell in Chinese mythology. It is loosely based on a combination of the concept of Naraka, traditional Chinese beliefs about the afterlife, and a variety of popular expansions and reinterpretations of these two traditions. DU is typically depicted as a subterranean maze with various levels and chambers, to which souls are taken after death to atone for the sins they committed when they were alive. The exact number of levels in DU and their associated deities differ between Buddhist and Taoist interpretations. Some speak of 3 to 4 courts, others mention 10 courts of hell, each of which is ruled by a judge, collectively known as the 10 Yama Kings. Other Chinese legends speak of the 18 levels of hell. Each court deals with a different aspect of atonement and different punishments. Most legends claim that sinners are subjected to gruesome tortures until their deaths, after which they are restored to their original state for the torture to be repeated.
Sounds a little bit too Christian-y. but it does seem very interesting. I think I might try going there one day. Well, I want to go somewhere that no one's ever been in like years, This place exists. It's like this place exists in the astral realm, Everything exists that you can think of. I'm really interested in this, so.
According to ideas from Taoism, citation needed, Buddhism, 1, 2, 3, and traditional Chinese folk religion, DU is a purgatory that serves to punish and renew spirits in preparation for reincarnation. Many deities, whose names and purposes are the subject of conflicting accounts, are associated with DU. Some early Chinese societies speak of people going to Mount Tai, Jiuyuan, Jiuquan, or Fengdu after death. 4, 5. At present, Fengdu and the temples on Mount Tai have been rebuilt into tourist attractions, incorporating artistic depictions of hell and the afterlife. Citation needed. Some Chinese folk religion planchette writings, such as the Taiwanese novel Journey, designed to house those who died with grievances that have yet to be redressed. Ming Dynasty, where figurines representing 3 of the 10 Yama kings.
Get out of here. Dude, put the clothes on. What? Register, okay? You can come in, but you have to wear clothes. about that. Man, motherfuckers is leaving now. What is up, everybody? I'm back again. Here we are. Nobody. Anybody on here, bro? 0 fucking viewers on Facebook, bro. Come on. This is dope shit. Anyways, fuck. That was annoying.
According to ideas from Taoism, citation needed, Buddhism, 1, 2, 3, and traditional Chinese folk religion, DU is a purgatory that serves to punish and renew spirits in preparation for reincarnation. Many deities, whose names and purposes are the subject of conflicting accounts, are associated with DU. Some early Chinese societies speak of people going to Mount Tai, Jiu Yuan, Jiu Chuan, or Fengdu after death, 4, 5. At present, Fengdu and the temples on Mount Tai have been rebuilt into tourist attractions, incorporating artistic depictions of hell and the afterlife. Citation needed. Some Chinese folk religion planchette writings, such as the Taiwanese novel Journeys to the Underworld, say that new hells with new punishments are created as the world changes, and that there is a city of innocent deaths, designed to house those who died with grievances that have yet to be redressed. 6. 10 Courts of Hell, edit. Ming Dynasty, 16th century, glazed earthenware figurines representing 3 of the 10 Yama kings. Entrance to the 10 Courts of Hell attraction in Ha Par Villa, Singapore. The ox-headed, right, and horse-faced, left, hell guards stand guard at the entrance. Stoneware figure from a judgment group, holding records of evil deeds. From China, Ming Dynasty, 16th century CE. The British Museum. Stoneware figure from a judgment group, holding a slim record of good deeds. From China, Ming Dynasty. The Ming Dynasty, /Ming / 7, officially the Great Ming, was the ruling dynasty of China from 1368 to 1644 following the collapse of the Mongol-led Yuan dynasty. The Ming Dynasty was the last imperial dynasty of China ruled by Han Chinese. Although the primary capital of Beijing fell in 1644 to a rebellion led by Li Zicheng, who established the Shun dynasty, soon replaced by the Manchu-led Qing dynasty, numerous rump regimes ruled by remnants of the Ming imperial family, collectively called the Southern Ming, survived until 1662 e. The Hongwu Emperor, R. 1368 to 1398, attempted to create a society of self-sufficient rural communities ordered in a rigid, immobile system that would guarantee and support a permanent class of soldiers for his dynasty. 8. The empire's standing army exceeded 1 million troops, and the navy's dockyards in Nanjing were the largest in the world. 9. He also took great care breaking the power of the court eunuchs, 10, and unrelated magnates, enfeoffing his many sons throughout China, and attempting to guide these princes through the Huangming Zhuxuan, a set of published dynastic instructions. G were the largest in the world. 9. He also took great care breaking the power of the court eunuchs, 10, and unrelated magnates, enfeoffing his many sons throughout China, and attempting to guide these princes through the Huangming Zhuxuan, a set of published dynastic instructions. This failed when his teenage successor, the Jiangwen Emperor, attempted to curtail his uncle's power, prompting the Jingnan Campaign, an uprising that placed the Prince of Yen upon the throne as the Yongle Emperor in 1402. The Yongle Emperor established Yen as a secondary capital and renamed it Beijing, constructed the Forbidden City, and restored the Grand Canal and the primacy of the imperial examinations in official appointments. He rewarded his eunuch supporters and employed them as a counterweight against the Confucian scholar bureaucrats. 1. Zheng He led 7 enormous voyages of exploration into the Indian Ocean, as far as Arabia and the eastern coasts of Africa. The rise of new emperors and new factions diminished such extravagances. The capture of the Jingtong Emperor during the 1449 Tuma crisis ended them completely. The imperial navy was allowed to fall into disrepair, while forced labor constructed the Liaodong Palisade and connected Hell Scroll, Jigakujoji, is a scroll depicting 7 out of the 16 lesser hells presented in Kasekyo, Sutra of the World Arising. 6 of the paintings are accompanied by text, which all begin with the phrase "there is yet another hell," following a description of what the sinners depicted did to end up in this particular hell. The 7 hells depicted are the hell of excrement, hell of measures, hell of the iron mortar, hell of the flaming rooster, hell of the black sand cloud, hell of pus and blood, and hell of foxes and wolves. It is considered likely that the scroll corresponds to the paintings of the 6 paths, commissioned by Emperor Gashirakuwa in the 12th century. This hand scroll was preserved in Daishoin in Higashiobo, Tokyo until the Meiji period, 1, when it came into the hands of the Hara family of Kanagawa, later ending up in the possession of the Japanese government.
Yo, who watched the new season of Lucifer yet? Bro, I can't wait to watch it. I'm saving it for a special occasion.
Hell of excrement, Shifuncho, place of excrement, one of the 16 lesser hells depicted in the Japanese hell scroll, Jigakujoji, probably commissioned by Emperor Gashirakuwa in the 12th century and originally stored in Renjyo-in, a Kyoto temple. 1.
Oops.
Naraka, Sanskrit, Pali, Niraya, is a term in Buddhist cosmology. 1. Usually referred to in English as hell, or hell realm, or purgatory. The Narakas of Buddhism are closely related to Diyu, the hell in Chinese mythology. Eternal. 2. Though it is usually incomprehensibly long, from hundreds of millions to sextillions, 1021, of years. A being is born into a Naraka as a direct result of its accumulated actions, karma, and resides there for a finite period of time until that karma has achieved its full result. 3. After its karma is used up, it will be reborn in one of the higher worlds as the result of karma that had not yet ripened. In the Devadatta Sutta, the 130th discourse of Majjhima Nikaya, the Buddha teaches about hell in vivid detail. Physically, Narakas are thought of as a series of cavernous layers which extend below Devadatta Sutta, the 130th discourse of Majjhima Nikaya, the Buddha teaches about hell in vivid detail. Physically, Narakas are thought of as a series of cavernous layers which extend below Jambudvipa, the ordinary human world, into the earth. There are several schemes for enumerating these Narakas and describing their torments. The Akadharmakosa, Treasure House of Higher Knowledge, is the root text that describes the most common scheme as the 8 cold Narakas and 8 hot Narakas. 4. Contents. Cold Narakas, edit. In East Asian and Buddhist mythology, Yama, sometimes known as the King of Hell, King Yen, Yam, or Yen Luo, Yama, is a Dharmatla, wrathful god, said to judge the dead and preside over the Narakas, hells, hell realm, or purgatories, and the cycle of afterlife sasra. Although based on the god Yama of the Hindu Vedas, the Buddhist Yama has spread and developed different myths and different functions from the Hindu deity. He has also spread far more widely and is known in most countries where Buddhism is practiced, including China, Korea, Japan, Taiwan, Vietnam, Bhutan, Mongolia, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, Myanmar, and Laos. In the Pali Canon, the Buddha states that a person who has ill-treated their parents, ascetics, holy persons, or elders is taken upon his death to Yama. 1. Yama then asks the ignoble person if he ever considered his own ill conduct in light of birth, deterioration, sickness, worldly retribution, and death. In response to Yama's questions, such an ignoble person repeatedly answers that he failed to consider the karmic consequences of his reprehensible actions, and as a result is sent to a brutal hell so long as that evil action has not exhausted its result. 2. In the Pali comment-arial tradition, the scholar Buddhaghosa's commentary to the Majjhima Nikaya describes Yama as a Vimanapada, a being in a mixed state, sometimes enjoying celestial comforts, and at other times punished for the fruits of his karma. However, Buddhaghosa considered his rule as a king to be just. 3. Modern Theravadan countries portray Yama sending old age, disease, punishments, and other calamities among humans as warnings to behave well. At death, they are summoned before Yama, who examines their character and dispatches them to their appropriate rebirth, whether to earth or to one of the heavens or hells. Sometimes there are thought to be 2 or 4 Yamas, each presiding over a distinct hell. 4. In Chinese mythology, King Yan, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, Pinyin, Yanwang, is the god of death and the ruler of Diyu, overseeing the 10 kings of hell. He is also known as Yan Luo. God of death and the ruler of Diyu, overseeing the 10 kings of hell. He is also known as Yan Luo, Yan Lu Wang, a transcription of the Sanskrit for King Yama, Yama Raja. In both ancient and modern times, Yan is portrayed as a large man with a scowling red face, bulging eyes, and a long beard. He wears traditional robes and a judge's cap, or a crown which bears the character for king. He typically appears on Chinese hell money in the position reserved for political figures on regular currency. Yan is not only the ruler, but also the judge of the underworld, and passes judgment on all the dead. He always appears in a male form, and his minions include a judge who holds in his hands a brush, and a book listing every soul, and the allotted death date for every life. Oxhead and Horseface, the fearsome guardians of hell, bring the newly dead, one by one, before Yan for judgment. Men or women with merit will be rewarded good future lives, or even revival in their previous life. Men or women who committed misdeeds will be sentenced to suffering or miserable future lives. In some versions, Yan divides Diyu into 8, 10, or 18 courts, each ruled by a Yan king, such as King Chujiang, who rules the court reserved for thieves and murderers. The spirits of the dead, on being judged by Yan, are supposed to either pass through a term of enjoyment in a region midway between the earth and the heaven of the gods, or to undergo their measure of punishment in the nether world. Neither location is permanent, and after a time, they return to earth in new bodies. Yan was sometimes considered to be a position in the celestial hierarchy, rather than an individual. There were said to be cases in which an honest mortal was rewarded the post of Yan and served as the judge and ruler of the underworld. Citation needed. Some said common people like Bao Zhen, Fan Zhongyan, Zhang Binglin became the Yan at night, or after death. 5. He is also regarded as one of the 20 devas, Ershi Zhutian, or the 24 devas, Ershizi Zhutian, a group of protective dharmapalas in Chinese Buddhism. 6. Some of these Chinese beliefs subsequently spread to Korea and Japan. In Japan, he is called Enma, Prev Yenma, King Enma, Enma, and Great King Enma, Enma Dayo. In Korea, Yan is known as Yomare, and Great King Yomare, Yomare De Wong. In Vietnam, these Buddhist deities are known as Diem La or Diem Vong, and are venerated as a council of all 10 kings who oversee underworld realm of Jianguk. If you lie, Lord Enma will pull out your tongue. Uso Otsukiba and Masama and Ishida Onakararu is a superstition in Japan often told to scare children into telling the truth. Citation needed. A Japanese proverb states when borrowing, the face of a Jizo, when repaying, a loan, the face of Enma. Jizo is typically portrayed with a serene,
Thanks for joining the stream today, guys. Please like and subscribe.